Hey Rob, Bill here. Sorry I got this out a little bit late, but I got a little waylaid by some other projects. But I wanted to let you know what I was talking about with respect to creating some authority, at least in the eyes of Google. And as you know, Google is the 8,000-pound gorilla in search. So at this point in time, they and Facebook are about the only places that seem to matter. So it's a seven-step process, and it looks a lot harder than it really is. And I'm going to show you by virtue of some existing websites and Google Plus accounts that I have set up. So the very first step is you need a Gmail account. That establishes you as a real person in the eyes of Google. So go out and get a Gmail account if you don't already have one. Then you need to set up a Google Plus page. The way you do that is once you log into Gmail, there's a black strip across the top. The very first thing in that strip is going to be your name. It'll say plus Rob. Click on that, it opens a new tab, and this is kind of what it looks like. All right, so there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. All right, so what I want to say on this part is that Google Plus really is like Facebook in a lot of ways. It's a social network. It's a place where you can get, user engagement. They have their version of likes, which are plus ones. You can share posts, which are just like sharing on Facebook. Except I will say that it's like Facebook, but it's totally different. And by that I mean it's got SEO value in the eyes of Google, and all of the plus ones that you get on your posts in Google Plus make a big difference in your search rankings. But the real value comes with authority. And in your industry, especially where knowledge is key, being an authority or being the authority in your niche or your industry is really, really super important. And Google tries to determine who the authorities are in any given niche or industry using what they know about. And they know a lot more about their Google properties than they do about Facebook, because Facebook's a closed community, right? Google can't log in to Facebook and see everything that's going on and be friends with everybody, right? But they have the ability to see every single thing that's going on in Google Plus because they own it. So whether you like Google Plus or not, it's probably a good place to be to establish this authority. All right. So one of the things that helps you to establish authority in Google's eyes is this concept of authorship. And it really ties into every bit of content that you create on the web, whether it's for your own website or websites, or as guest posts or guest blog posts for other leaders in your industry. You want Google to know that you are the owner or you are the author of those pieces of content, right? Whether it's a guest post or your own post, you want your title, you want your name in that author byline, and you want that to be tied to your Google Plus profile. All right. So when you go to set up Google Plus, you'll have a blank slate. Pretty much, this whole thing will be empty. What you want to do is set up your profile in such a way that, and I'll be honest with you, I have not optimized mine either. So I'll just get that out of the way right now. But you can change, this is kind of like the Facebook, header that you have in Facebook on a personal page. You can put whatever you want here. I would recommend that you put, pictures of you, your gym, your members, your cult, or your tribe in here, because that's gonna lend a lot to what we're trying to do here. You want to really get into the aspect where you're showing Google that yes, this is your profile, it's really Rob King, and it's tied to all my content that I'm publishing outside of Google+. So the very first thing you have to do is make sure that all of your published documents link to your Google Plus profile. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. You want to make sure that your Google Plus profile links back to your blog. And the way you do that is you go back to your Google Plus profile and you go to the About link and you scroll down a bit if you can't see it now and go down to the point where it says Contributor To. So in this section you want all of your websites, I think you have several, you want all of your websites to be listed in there. So what you do is you basically just, it's still loading so I can't show you what's about to happen. Okay, it's done loading. So go down to the bottom of that section. So this whole thing right here under links is a really big section. Go all the way to the bottom and click Edit. And then where it says Contributor To, and you want to set this to public. All you do is add a custom link, put in your website name and your URL. You are the current contributor to that site. Google wants to know that there are real people behind the site and behind the profile. So you're going to be a current contributor. If you have other contributors to your blog, that's fine. They would just put this same information, label and URL, on their Google Plus profile. All right. So then what you want to do is make sure that your blog profile, and I'm assuming you use WordPress, I'm not sure, but let's just assume you do for a second. If you go to your WordPress website, you want to make sure that your blog profile, your user information, contains your relevant author content. You also want to make sure that your profile pic is there. You don't want a blank picture on your Google Plus profile page. So I'm going to cancel out of this. We're going to go up here. And I don't know if it's going to show here, but it probably won't. Anyway, I'll show you where that is too. It's in your avatar on your WordPress site. So I'm going to pause here for a second, load up a site, and be right back. So this is my website, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the WordPress dashboard. So if I go here and then dashboard, wait for that to load, go down to users, and I've got a bunch of users here. I got to find myself. Let's do it the easy way. And this is me. If I go to edit, I'm going to show you what needs to be there. So critical piece number one is you want your Google Plus profile URL to be in this box. Okay. The way you find that is you go back to Google Plus. You see all this stuff. The most important part is this number. But basically, you want that link minus the U and the O, or the 0, whatever that is. So you would take out that part, and you would take out this part. Okay, that's what I've done here. If you notice, if I load that page, it's me. It's my site, my Google Plus site. All right, so that needs to be there. And then you want to write some information about yourself, keyword-rich stuff, right? Then you want to go down to, if you have this in your theme, you may not, your biography options. I basically just copy the same stuff because Google picks up different things. But and then this is the WordPress SEO settings, which comes from Yoast's SEO plugin. It's basically the same stuff, right? So we'll get to that in a minute. All right. So you've set up your Google Plus profile. You've set up your WordPress author information. I showed you how to find the link, right? You can also create a Google Plus business page. It's very similar to creating your own Google Plus profile page. It's very similar to Facebook business pages, except in this case you're not the author, but your company is the publisher. And you set it up in almost exactly the same way as you do your Google Plus profile page. All right, and then you find the link the same way and take out the junk in between the number, like so. So if I go here and then go to my pages and then go to my main page, right? Go here, manage this page, and see I don't have a cover photo. I haven't done any of this stuff, so I'm not even practicing what I preach here. But eventually, the doctor will take his medication. And what you want to do is you want to take this information, right, and take out the B. So it's basically plus.google.com / this long number. All right, that's your Google Publisher or your Google Plus business URL. All right, so that's that. So then let's go back and go to our WordPress blog. So what you need in your WordPress blog is Yoast's SEO plugin. And it's right here. It's called SEO, but I'll show you how to go find that. You probably already have it on your site, if I know you're pretty savvy. So if you go down here, you can see that it's called WordPress SEO. Click on the settings, and I need to update that too, by the way. So where you want to go there, obviously you want to optimize this and set all the settings you can, but it's under the social link. And if you go to Google Plus, you will have a drop down here that has your name in it. Choose that one. Initially, this may be blank. And then your Google Publisher page is that URL that we just showed you about finding on your Google Plus business page. All right. So that's that. So set those two things, hit Save Settings. Make sure you fill out all the other information on all these other pages and tabs and whatnot. It all helps, but it's not going to help you with Google Plus necessarily. And then you can go to verify with your Rich Snippets tool that everything's working. All right, so if I go back to my site right here, you're going to see two things because I've set up publisher and author on this site. So before we get to the Rich Snippets tool, let's just right click on the page, view the page source, and you can see right here that it says link rel equal author. This is my Google Plus profile page URL, and this one here that says rel publisher is my Google Plus business URL. Okay, I took out the junk in the middle and I just have plus.google.com / that big long number. Okay, that's what should be showing when you view the source of any page. So that was my home page. Let's go to an internal page or post and do the same thing. And you'll see something a little bit different. Oh, actually, you're not seeing it different anymore. Okay, that's good. I think the plugin got updated recently. So you still see your author URL and your publisher URL. If you were to click on that, it's going to go right to those URLs, which is cool. But how does that help you? If you go to Google and just type in Rich Snippets tool, click on that, click on the first result, and then type in a URL. Start with your home page, click on preview, and you're going to find this little picture, right? And it says by Bill Davis, and if you hover over that, down in the bottom it will show you, and I'll highlight this in a minute, it will show you your Google Plus profile URL, right? And then so the most important thing here in my estimation is that everything looks to be, showing up right, but the picture. and you're going to want to put a picture there of, you, a big headshot, right? You want to make sure that your authorship testing result is showing right. If it wasn't, it would say, it wouldn't say your name, and it wouldn't have that URL of your Google Plus profile. And then you want to make, this doesn't matter because we're using a plugin to do that, but you also want to go down and make sure that it says under the publisher that the publisher markup is verified for this page. And note that this URL is my Google Plus business page. So that's all good. It's all working. Google doesn't publish a picture for the publisher page, so you can't put a really cool logo there. But if you wanted to use your logo for your personal profile page, that would be fine. So remember when I started this, I said that the picture, this picture, came from your Gravatar in WordPress. That's not true. It actually comes from your profile on your Google Plus profile page, and it's right here. So if you click the little icon, you can choose to upload a file, or you can go to your albums or your photos of you or whatever, and I could make that, they have to be a certain size, 250 by 250 or bigger. Google will resize them if they're too big. They won't resize them if they're too small. So let's see if I can pick something else. It doesn't really matter to me at this point in time. You get the point. Basically upload a picture that's at least 250 by 250, and that will show up in your profile part right here, and that's what drives this thumbnail in your preview. So I want to show you something really quick, and I know this video is getting a little bit long, but this is a presentation I did for my meetup a while back, and this is what the results look like. Now obviously I've stacked the deck here, right, because I searched for myself, and this is an old profile pic. It's my my little cartoon character guy. This is what, if you were to search for Bill Davis on Google, this is a similar result to what you would get. What you're going to see though is you're going to see, here's a link to me. It's my Google Plus profile page. Here's a link to my Google Plus profile page somewhere. Here's my Facebook stuff. Here's my avatar, my caricature again. But basically what's happening here is the posts right here are the ones that stand out, and they're the ones with the headshot. So you're going to get more conversions from Google search than you did in the past, because not everybody is doing this. Let's go take a look. Let's see if anything's changed. So if I go here to Google and then type in Bill Davis, these things tend to float around a lot. But if you look, there's a bunch of people here named Bill Davis, right? And I'm not ranking, I'm not trying to rank for my own name. But what's the one or few things that stand out? Well, this little box stands out, right? This little picture stands out, right? So what would happen if you had Rob King? Hey, there you are, right? But no Rob King here. And no picture. No picture in an individual search result. So that's no good. You want to see this picture showing up right here. That's what you really want, right? All right. So we got to the WordPress blog. We did the rich snippets tool. You want to make sure that you share your Google Plus profile on your guest posts. So going back to your Google Plus profile URL, this URL minus the U and the 0 are what you want to share with your publisher at other websites. That way, when there's and I don't have it on my site because I'm doing something a little bit different. You would normally have an author byline right here. It would say Namecheap Coupon September 2013 by Bill Davis on September 1st, 2013, that Bill Davis link that's right here would link back to my Google Plus profile page. And that would allow me to establish my authorship of that piece of content, and Google would then know that this content really does belong to Bill Davis or Rob King, right? One last thing, I think. All these other Google properties you want to be leveraging as well. YouTube, Panoramio, which is an image site. Maps, you have a real location. It's a place that people can drive to or walk to or whatever. You want that information in Google Maps. Any documents you publish, like PDFs and whatnot, or Word-like documents, you can actually put them on Drive, which is a Google property, which is indexed, and it has a PR7. You want to cross-post some of your blogs on Blogger.com. Right? Get robking.blogger.com or the name of your gym.blogger.com. And you also want to start using Hangouts. Hangouts is kind of an extension of YouTube and Google Plus. It's kind of a marrying of the two. But think of Hangouts as a really cool go-to webinar or go-to meeting that has an unlimited audience. It leverages YouTube. So when you record a Hangout, you can have up to 10 people on a Hangout actively participating, meaning they can all have mics and webcams and whatnot, and you can you can interview 9 other guys or gals up to that. And if you do it as a live broadcast you do a live Hangout, YouTube in the background is streaming it while it's going on, and they're also recording it while it's going on. And after you're done, it will render a video that shows up on YouTube that will get you traffic over and over and over and over again. All of this stuff establishes you as the authority in your industry or your niche, and it also gets you a lot of direct traffic, and it gets you a lot of good SEO benefits. All right, I hope that helps. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, feel free to reach out to me. I'm everywhere. Facebook, Skype, wherever, email. So I'm going to put this up on YouTube, and I'll send you the link. All right? Take care, man.